and welcome to Story Time at the Library. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to do a little bit of a good morning song so that we can kind of shake out our sillies and get going. So if you can, listen closely. Here we go. Hands go up. Hands go down. I can turn myself around. I can stand on one shoe. I can listen, so can you. I can sit, I'll show you how. Story time is starting now. All right, now that we're ready, today, with permission from Disney Publishing, we are going to read Beauty and the Beast. This is Retold by Cynthia Rylant, and the pictures are by Meg Park. As you can see, we have our beautiful magic rose here with us. Some of the petals have fallen off. All right, so we're going to read our story now. To be unloved is a great misery, and the loneliness of it nearly impossible to bear. This is the story of someone cursed by such a fate. Neither power nor riches could save him. What he needed was beauty. Beauty and the Beast. There lived 3 sisters and a father in a humble house in the country. They had once known great riches, but the father's business had failed, and now they lived in a spare, hard life. 2 of the 3 sisters were darkly discontent. They muttered day and night about their unfair lot. The 3rd daughter, the youngest, was different. She did not mutter, she sang. Her name was Beauty. One day, good news arrived. A ship thought lost at sea had sailed into port, and on it was the cargo belonging to Beauty's father. This cargo would restore all his lost riches. The 2 eldest daughters were overjoyed, for having riches was all that mattered to them. Beauty was happy too, but her happiness was for her father, who could once again stand tall. The father asked each of his daughters what he might bring her from the port. The eldest daughter asked for an emerald necklace, but the youngest wanted only a rose. Winter has been so long, she said, so her father promised her a red rose. But alas, there was tragedy. When Beauty's father arrived at the port, all his cargo had been stolen. He was left with nothing and faced a long, sad journey home. Deep in the forest, a blizzard set upon him, and he became lost. His horse guided him to a stone castle in the woods, and the poor man stumbled inside, fell on the floor, and fell asleep. When he awoke, Beauty's father found a great banquet spread before him, and he ate and he ate. Then he discovered a chamber bed full with fur blankets, and he slept again. The next day the blizzard had passed, and Beauty's father set out for home. Riding away from the castle, he saw a single rose blooming in the garden, and he cut it. It looks a lot like our red rose. There erupted then such a sound as to nearly stop the man's heart beating, and a terrible beast was upon him. I give you food and shelter, snarled the beast, and in your greed you cut away my only rose. Shaken, the father told the beast of his long journey, and of his youngest daughter, who had asked for nothing but a single rose. I'm very sorry, said Beauty's father. I owe you my life. That you do, said the beast, and from this day forward you will remain here and be my servant." "But my daughters will be lonely without me," cried the father. And the beast, who knew loneliness better than this father would ever understand, fell silent. Finally, he said, "I will allow you to be master of your house, but in return you must send one of your daughters to me to be my servant to the end of her days." There is no father of honor in the world who would sacrifice his daughter to a beast, and this father was no different. He returned home to tell his daughters that they must live life without him. But the youngest daughter refused to lose her father for a rose, and she insisted that she herself would go. Beauty was sure that one day the beast would release her, and somehow she made her father believe it. So he delivered her to the beast. Beauty had prepared herself for the beast's terribleness, and when he took her hand, she did not tremble. So began the story of the Beauty and the Beast. The beast was kind to her. She wore the loveliest gowns and the finest food, and never once was she asked to serve. Mornings the beast walked with her in the gardens and named the birds who flew there. Evenings he would read to her from a book of sonnets, and every day he asked her if she was happy. "I am happy," she always answered. Then one day the beast asked her to marry him. But Beauty said sadly, "I cannot marry you, for I do not love you." And sadly the beast accepted her answer. That night Beauty had a dream that her father, sick with worry for her, had become ill. She asked the beast to let her go home. "No," he roared. For the first time, Beauty drew away from him. But because he did love her, the beast let her go. And she promised she would return, but he did not believe her. Gratefully, Beauty went home and nursed her father back to health. But then one night she dreamed that the beast lay dying. In the morning, she rode hard to the stone castle as fast as she could. When Beauty arrived, it seemed that everything was dying. She found the beast lying in the garden, and he too was nearly dead. "Beast," she whispered. She looked into his terrible face. She couldn't imagine life without him. "I love you," she said. That moment, when she spoke those words to the beast, he gave a terrible shudder, and at once was transformed into a beautiful young man. "No," cried Beauty, "where is my beast?" The young man smiled and spoke to her softly. "Your love has broken the spell," he said. "I am the beast no more." Beauty looked into his eyes, and she knew that this was her beast, in lovelier form, her dear beast. He told her that he had once been a young prince living in his father's kingdom. When he refused to marry the daughter of a wicked witch, the witch cast a spell on him, trapping him in ugliness and loneliness, and the spell could only be broken by love. The miracle is that it was. The end. Aw, that was such a good book. It was a little different from The Beauty and the Beast than I'm sure all of you know, but I still think it was a really good story. And I think it also teaches that you can't judge a book by its cover, right? We have to look at what's inside that people offer. Now, we do have a craft this week that you can come to the library and pick up to take home and do. So if you all remember from the cartoon Beauty and Beast, the Beast had a magic mirror, remember? That he let Belle use so that she could see her dad. And then Belle used the magic mirror to even see the Beast sometimes. So you can come to the library and get your craft bag. And what it's going to have in it is the stuff for you to make your own magic mirror. And I'm going to show you just really quickly how you can do that. All right. So your take and make bag is going to come with a circular piece of cardstock and your large popsicle stick. What you're going to want to do is attach the popsicle stick to the cardstock. Now, you can do this with glue or you can do it with tape. I'm going to use a little bit of glue. And I'm just going to put it on the popsicle stick like that. Go down as far as you need to. And then we're going to just push it down on the cardstock. Super easy, right? Now, if you were to do tape, you could just take a couple pieces of tape and simply tape the popsicle stick on. You can do it either way. It is up to you. So, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. Starting to look a little bit like a mirror, right? Okay. Next, you're going to take your aluminum foil. You're going to want to use the shinier side, okay? So you see how this side, you might not can see very well, but this side is not as shiny as this side. You want to use the shinier side to wrap around your mirror. And you just press down flat with the aluminum foil. Now, you don't need to use tape, but if you want to use another little piece of tape to kind of stick it in place, you can, but it will just lay down flat and stay on without you using the tape. So now we have something looking a little bit like this. Okay. You got some really cool foil stars in here and little things like that. You could also use markers, like if you have some Sharpies or things at home to kind of draw on there. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a few of my little stars to kind of decorate here. Here we go. And then I'm going to use them to go around. Like that. Okay. You can use as many of the stars as you want or as little. It is up to you. You don't have to use all of them. You don't have to use any of them if you don't want to. If you have cooler stickers at home that you want to use, or maybe other foam shapes or glitter, you can be as creative as you want to be with making your mirror. That is how you make your own Beauty and the Beast mirror. And it actually works. Like, I can see myself in the mirror, which is the really cool thing. So I can ask the mirror, to show me the Beast. It's a lot of fun to try to imagine our own story, isn't it? All right. So that is our story time in our craft, Beauty and the Beast themed. Come to the library, get your own take and make kit to do your own boredom buster craft at home. Promise it's a lot of fun. Come check out some of the other books that we have about fairy tales that maybe have mirrors in it. I'm sure you all remember the story of Snow White. Yeah, Snow White is another fairy tale that actually has a magic mirror in it. Remember the evil queen, Snow White's stepmother, had a magic mirror where she would ask every day who was the fairest of all. Now we are going to do our goodbye song. I had so much fun with you all, and thank you for coming and watching. So we get our hands, we're going to shake them out, and this is how our goodbye song goes. It goes, goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.